What's up, everybody? My name is Kier, and you are watching The Important Things That Really Matter. Today, we're going to be talking about the passport bros again. And this is some very, very important information that you bros need to know. So this is going to be passport bros, lies that have been told about the bros. Once again, passport bros, lies that's been told about the bros. So what are those lies that have been told about the bros? Well, I'm about to tell you in a second, but before we get into it, would you please like, would you please share, would you please subscribe? And let's get into it. So what are some of the lies that's been told by the passport bros? Well, I want to go over this because I think this is extremely important. There was a lady from Africa that had put together a video that was very, very important. I'm glad she put it together. This is an African woman who is married to an African-American man, and it seems to me like they've had a very, very successful marriage. And so one of the things that she wanted to put on one of her videos, which I thought was extremely important, was that she was talking about how African women over in Africa had evidently some of the modern women that are over here in the United States, somehow or another, they've been relating lies to some of the African women that are over there in the continent of Africa. And some of the lies that they've been to some of the modern women over here in the United States have been telling some of the women over in Africa is, number one, that the passport bros don't want to take care of their children. That's one lie. Another one of the lies that was told by one of these modern women, or it could be one or more modern women telling some of the African women that are over in Africa. One of the other lies that was being told by some of these modern women that are over here is that some of these passport bros just want to go over to Africa, get them pregnant, and then leave them. And which is another lie, because most of the passport bros that I know of, most of the people that are going overseas to get a wife are the guys that want to get a wife, and they want a traditional woman. They want to take care of the woman. They want to take care of the children that come out of the union of them, and they want to have their own families. So some of the modern women over here have been giving some of the women over in Africa a bunch of lies to not get with them. And we're going to go into why are some of the lies, because some of the modern women that are over here know that many of the women that are over in Africa have been trained properly by their mothers and their fathers to be good wives and also to be good mothers. Many of them, the traditional role of women is still in place, and the mothers, the daughters, and the aunties are going to work hard to make sure that their daughter is a good wife for a husband, a good mother for the children, have a number of children for the husband, and basically just all work together in peace instead of a bunch of confusion. So these are some of the lies that's been told. One of the other lies that's been told, which I don't know how true this is or not, but one of the things that some of the modern women over here have been telling a lot of the women over in Africa is that, they're going to try to get you pregnant and they're going to leave you. And then if they come over there, they're going to want you to pay half for everything. And I want to explain that a little bit too to some of you all passport bros who may be thinking about going over to Africa to tell some of those women over there that they should be paying half. First of all, if you are going to another country, especially if you're going to Africa, you're different. You are dealing with a different type of woman. And which is the reason why a lot of men are going to Africa and other places to get wives, is because they want a wife who is traditional. Now, the modern woman, here's the characteristics of a modern woman. The modern woman may tell the man that she's independent. The modern woman may tell the man that she don't need a man. Out of all the races in the world, there's only one race of woman that I know of that's telling men that they don't need a man, and then turn around and saying, I'm not protected. Anyway, the modern woman is going to say that they're independent. The modern woman is going to say, I don't need a man. The modern woman is going to say, I don't want to necessarily cook or clean. I might have one or two children for you, but that's a big might. They're going to tell you what they're not going to do. They're going to tell you that the things which are basically, in a nutshell, being a wife 101, which is be one of the first classes you would take if they had classes for wives or how to be a wife. This will be being a wife 101. And part of being a wife 101 is cooking for your family, cooking for your children. And that's on a regular basis. That's cleaning for your husband and your family. That is looking after your husband, respecting your husband, giving him honor and respect. That is all the basic things that the creator of the woman had put in her role from the beginning of time. If you can look right in the Bible to find out, it's very clear what the role of the wife is. It's very clear what the role of the husband is. And so when you go to places like Africa, it's very clear what the role of the husband is, what the role of the wife is. It's only the roles changed for women back in the 60s when you had the feminist movement. You also had the sexual revolution, which gave them the mindset that they can go screw around with whoever they want to screw around with, and it's nobody's business, and it's not going to affect anything. And we see right now that's not true in the least bit, because a woman's body count does matter as to whether the woman is going to screw around on a husband or not. A woman's body count does matter in giving a man indication of whether the marriage is going to last or not. And for those women that do have high body counts, there have been studies done on you all that many of those women that have high body counts the marriages will not get past 5 years. And if it does get past 5 years, it won't be no more than a year or two past 5 years. And it is estimated, based upon the reports that I have read in the past, that women that have high body counts, their rate of divorce is going to be about 80 or 90%. 80 or 90% rate of divorce. And the studies must be true, because in the United States, the divorce rate is 70%. And in some parts of the United States, it's 80%. And also, too, 80% of 80% of divorces are filed by women. Let me say that again. 80% of divorces are filed by women. And in some parts of the United States, like Texas and California, it's up to 90% of women that are filing for divorce. So it's not the men walking away from marriages, it's the women walking away from marriages, which is the main reason. So those people that sit up here and say body count does not matter, that is an absolute lie. Body count has everything to do with it. It has everything to do with whether the woman screws around on the husband or boyfriend. It has everything to do with how long a marriage will last. And most women that have a high body count, the marriages is not going to last too far past 5 years, and it's about 90%. 80 to 90%, more like 90% of women that have high body counts, their marriages will not get past, or at least not too further past 5 years. That's about how long the marriage is going to last. So if you have the opportunity or the choice to pick between somebody who has a high body count and somebody who's got a low body count, you're better off with somebody with a low body count of not leaving you, as opposed to somebody that's had a high body count, because they might be bored with you real quick because they've been with so many different men and probably so many different women too. So these are things you need to take in consideration. Now, this is the mindset of the modern woman. Now, a traditional woman is a woman that wants to be a wife, is a woman that wants to be a mother, is a woman that wants to have children, not going to sit up here and tell the husband, I might have one child for you, or I might only have 2 children for you. A traditional woman, those words not even going to come out of her mouth. A traditional woman is going to have a number of children that the husband wants to have. A traditional woman has no problem in cooking for the husband, or no problem in cooking for the children. She's not going to have any problems cleaning. She's not going to look at it as that she is a slave to the man or slave to to the family because she's cooking and cleaning. Okay, a traditional woman is not going to be doing those things. She's going to cook, she's going to clean, she's going to have children for the man, she's going to respect the man. The traditional woman is, you're never going to hear the words, I'm an independent woman. You're never going to hear the words coming out of a traditional woman's mouth, such as, I don't need a man, stuff like that. You're never going to hear any of those things out of a traditional woman. Now, that's which comes to the point which I'm talking about. There is a difference between the modern woman and the traditional woman. And so if you are a passport bro and you're going to Africa or one of the other places, a lot of women who fall in the traditional category. Oh, let me not forget to say this also too. A lot of women in the traditional, traditional woman is not going to withhold sex from you if you her husband, or every other time talking about she got a headache. You're not going to have to deal with that with a traditional woman. Traditional woman already knows that that man picked her to be intimate with. You follow what I'm saying? You're not going to have to be dealing with that on a regular basis, talking about somebody got a headache or I don't feel like it or anything. She's already going to know what her role is, okay? Which is the same role that's been in place for the last 5,000 or 6,000 years. So one of the things I need to tell you for being a passport bro is if you happen to be involved with a woman in Africa, the traditional role, when you're dealing with a traditional woman, she is going to be expecting you to pay for everything. And if you are a passport bros, you shouldn't have a problem with paying everything. Why shouldn't you not have a problem with paying for everything if you're a passport bro? Well, you're over there looking for a wife. The wife is going to be cooking for you. She's going to be cleaning for you. She's going to be having children for you that you want to have. She's going to be taking care of all those different things along with taking care of you. She's not going to be withholding sex from you. She's not going to be doing any of those things, okay? She's going to be doing all the good things which I already mentioned. Cooking, cleaning, having children for you, having a number of children that you want to have with her. She's going to take care of your house. She's going to take care of your kids. She's going to take care of you. She's not going to be withholding intimacy from you like some of the modern women will be withholding intimacy from, okay? And also, too, I think the last figures I looked at was stating that the percentage of college-educated women filing for divorce is somewhere around about 90%. So you are even in a worse situation if you are involved with a college-educated modern woman. Over here in the United States, the last figures I hear that the divorce rate is about 90%. The divorce rate is about 90% when you are marrying a modern day college educated woman. And so the numbers must be correct. The numbers have to be correct. You want to know why they have to be correct? Because the divorce rate in the United States is 70%, 70, okay? In some places in the United States, it's 80% of the divorce rate in certain parts of Texas and certain parts of California. So this is what you don't want. This is what you don't want. So passport bros, when you are in places like Africa, they're going to expect you to pay for 100% of things. And it shouldn't be a problem with you to pay for 100% of things when she's going to be cooking for you, when she's going to be taking care of you, when she's going to be having children for you, when she's going to be doing all the things that a traditional wife is going to do. That's what she does, and that's what you're supposed to do in paying for 100% of everything. That's just the way it is. It's just the way it is for the last 6,000 years that we've been on this earth. So keep that in mind. Do not go over to Africa. Do not go to another country saying you should pay 50%. The people that you should be talking about paying 50% are the modern women. The ones that say, I don't need a man, that they're independent, they got a good job, they might have one kid for you, they might have 2 kids for you. It's always a might. Well, that also means that she might have a child for you or she might not have a child for you. You follow what I'm saying? Now, the ones that you want to say, okay, you pay half, are the independent ones. Well, they have good paying jobs and they say they don't need the man, so the independent ones probably should pay half. But the more traditional women, no, you pay for everything because that's part of your role. That's part of your responsibility to pay everything. And then the wife is going to take care of all the stuff that deals with the house and the family in reference to cooking and cleaning, having the children for you, and all the other type of stuff. Same traditional role that we've been having for the last 5,000 to 6,000 years. You got it, bros? Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Don't go over to Africa talking about, oh, you got to pay 50%. That's only for the modern women that talks about they're independent, talk about they're feminists, talking about their they don't need no man, stuff like that. So I just want to make that clear. And also to keep in mind that passport bros, when you are in other countries, be on the best of your behavior. Don't be acting like an idiot. Be on the best of your behavior. Don't be acting like an idiot. If you're overseas looking for a wife, truly be looking for a wife to settle down with, and not going over there to just be screwing around, with people, okay? Because over there, other countries and stuff, just like over here, you don't want to get with somebody that got AIDS or HIV or any sexually transmitted diseases. You don't want to be dealing with that. You can deal with that over here. So if you are overseas, you want to make sure that everybody's tested to see if they're pregnant before you marry them. Testing to see if they have a STD, testing to see if they got HIV, testing to see if they got AIDS. And that's not just over in Africa, but you should also be doing that over here, because some places over in the United States, the HIV rate, like in one particular southern city, is as high as a third world country. So anyway, would you please like, would you please share, would you please subscribe, and peace.